Hello, everybody, and welcome to Celebrity Apex Update. So I am still on the Apex. I've been on here now for 3 days. 3 days or 4 days? Gosh, time just flies. You're having so much fun. Time just flies. So I wanted to give you a bit of an update of how it's going. As you can see here in the background, we are in Mykonos. We're just about to leave. Captain Dimitrios loves to do donuts when he's leaving, so we might be doing a donut in the harbour. But anyway, he's a really, really, really cool captain. So we're just about to leave here. So I apologize if the signal is a little bit dodgy, because as it transitions out of the port signal into the ocean signal or the sea signal or whatever you want to call it, it does tend to change. But pretty much on board, the free Wi-Fi has been pretty good. So I'm not going to complain about that one bit. What else am I not going to complain about? Everything. Like everything. I mean, it's been fantastic. I have loved every minute of it. It's one of the first cruises back. This has been in operation since 2019, however, couldn't go onto the water because of COVID, as we all know. And it's been back now for 6 cruises. And it really is something special because everybody is doing everything possible to keep everybody safe. So let's talk about the different aspects of a cruise now that we're back on the water. So aspect 1, food. The food has been great. The services on board have been exactly as they would be if you had a full ship. There are 900 crew and 800 passengers, so pretty much 1-to-1. They're not skimping. They are serving you still the lobster. They're serving you still the filet mignon. They're really taking care of every single thing and making sure that you still have the same kind of cruise and the same kind of services and onboard amenities as you would if there were 3,500 passengers on board. That's number 1. Number 2, excursions. Well, we all love cruise excursions. I mean, whether you do it yourself, whether you go on shore yourself and you explore, or you actually get an organized excursion, whatever you do, it's still available. In some ports, however, like in Mykonos, because of increasing numbers, what they decided to do is to make it so that you had to do an onboard curated organized excursion. And there were special ones put on that were very inexpensive, like we're going to take you to the beach or something like that. But it was organized by fully vaccinated, onshore, experienced guides. And it was something where you could go on shore, you could have all the experiences that you want, but you were with your group. You were sort of in your bubble, if you like. So very, very good to still enjoy it. And it was a fantastic experience. So what we did was we did the cooking class, which was really great. And I have to say, I always thought, I don't really like the group excursions, with your little pole and all number 10s follow me. But it was great. We went by bus to somebody's house. And while we were there, they did a bit of a talk about Greek food and what the traditions were, and all about traditions of weddings and what you eat at weddings and what you eat at different times of the year and things like that. And then we got to cook and we got to do it ourselves. And it was really, really cool. I really enjoyed every minute of today. The home that we went to was beautiful. And the lady was incredibly generous and gracious. And it was a great experience and very inexpensive. I have always been a little bit cautious of doing shore excursions with cruise lines, but honestly, highly, highly recommend it. It was fantastic. And it was worth every penny, because we had lunch as well, and we got to cook, and it was really, really good. And we even got a gift when we left as well. So great experience. What about entertainment? Well, on board ships, entertainment is always a highlight. It's definitely a highlight for me. Last night, there was the show called Caravan. And some of these pictures are going to be on my stories. So check it out afterwards. I can't post them on here and also on StreamYard because it goes to too many different places. But I will post on my story later. But the show called Caravan was all basically about acrobats and one lady who's a complete contortionist, and it was fantastic, absolutely superb. I mean, I always used to love going to one of the cruise exhibitions for trade in Miami. And every year we would go to the Royal Caribbean headquarters and see what shows they were working on at the time. Well, Celebrity Cruises is part of the Royal Caribbean family. And honestly, their shows are just as good. Absolutely fantastic. And anyway, can't say enough about it. But COVID restrictions, what are the COVID restrictions when you're going to watch these type of things? Well, you can go and you can now who's asking to be on my video? Somebody's asking me to be on my video. Okay, go on then, let's do it. Who is this? I can't see. Hello, how are you?
We're going on the Apex in November, so I'd like to get some information.
Oh, well, there you go. That's good. So I'm right here, and you can see in the background Mykonos, and the Apex is absolutely beautiful. I would recommend, I've got a couple of recommendations for you, though. We upgraded to the suites. So we're in a Sky Suite. And I would 100% recommend it, if you can, to take the splurge and go for a Sky Suite or higher. Our bed faces the ocean. You wake up in the morning and you open the curtains and you see everything. And they're extra restaurants, so the retreat, it's like a sort of a hotel within a hotel. It's the upgraded section, and the pool is beautiful, and it's quiet, and drink. It's just fabulous. And so if you can upgrade, I would definitely say it's worth it. Yeah, it's fantastic. Food is great. We loved Eden. So there's a restaurant here called Eden. Eden is a beautiful, unusual, different sort of take. Like, some of the drinks come out and they've got smoke coming out of them, and some of the food is all plated really uniquely. The chef came from a Michelin star restaurant, and it's well worth it. And then they also have acrobat shows there as well. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I would highly recommend this cruise. People have always said to me, they love Celebrity, and I've done weddings on board Celebrity Cruises, and I've sent people on Celebrity Cruises. I've actually got some clients on Celebrity at the moment, and just never experienced it myself. And I really love the, I really love everything about it. So yeah. Do you have any questions about the cruise itself?
We were just wondering, I saw one of your videos not too long ago on the back to the vaccinations. So we have to get, we're from Canada, so we have to get a negative proof of COVID 3 days before we head onto the ship, and then we get another test on the ship.
No, you get a test. You don't need a test anymore as long as you're fully vaccinated. So everybody who's not on Instagram, just to give you a fill in, on Instagram, I'm on live with somebody who's going to be traveling in the future. What is your name? Sorry.
Me, it's Rose.
Hi, Rose. So Rose is going to be traveling on the Apex very soon. And because I'm live on several different platforms, you won't be able to see Rose on Instagram. But Rose asked the question about vaccinations and about traveling if you're fully vaccinated. Well, you don't need to be tested if you are fully vaccinated, you can travel. You can travel to Greece at the moment as long as you're fully vaccinated without a prior test. And then what they will do is they will test you with an antigen test, the rapid test, at the entry into the cruise. So they'll make sure that and then let's say it shows up positive, and for some reason, sometimes it could be a false positive. So they will test you again and make sure that that wasn't a false positive, and then they will and then you'll be either tested again or sent off to the next thing. So yeah.
Okay. We're doing a Caribbean one that's going to Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. Kitts, Antigua. So we would have to look and see what their restrictions are.
Yes.
If we're doing excursions.
Yes. Well, if you have to be careful also that you don't have the AstraZeneca vaccine if you are flying or traveling out of a USA port, because if you do, you won't be accepted. It has to be either Pfizer, double dose of Pfizer, double dose of Moderna, no mixed vaccinations, and they will not be accepted.
I've got AstraZeneca twice.
Yeah. You'll have to change it. You won't be able to travel. So AstraZeneca is not being accepted for anything that is exiting out of Miami or Florida. So that is it. Yeah. So thanks so much for coming on with me. I'm going to go back to my other ones now. And yeah, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And take care. I hope you love your trip. But please text me if you have any more questions. I'd love to keep you informed, and if you have any more questions on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. So any other questions that anybody has on LinkedIn, please let me know. Thanks, Frederick. I'm absolutely loving being on board and being in Mykonos, because it is absolutely just fabulous. It's just, I don't know, one of the best experiences I've ever had on a cruise ship. That's for absolute certain. So what else can I tell you? The pool areas. People are not wearing masks because obviously we're all tested on board, right? So people are not wearing masks if you're sunbathing. They're not wearing masks, obviously, in the restaurants. But a lot of people are wearing masks around the ship. So if they're going from one place to another, they'll put a mask on and then take it off when they get to the restaurant, or take it off when they get to a bar or something like that. And on board, you're pretty much mostly either at a restaurant, at a bar, or at an event somewhere. So you're not wearing masks a ton of times, but they are definitely asking you to use hand sanitizer all the time. They're washing their hands, they're being really, really careful. And all of the restaurants, the wait staff are wearing masks at all times. Everybody who works on board is wearing masks all the time. So it's safety first, absolutely safety first. And I can't say enough about how well they are doing in this. The staff have just recently been allowed to get off the ship for a day off, but for the longest time they weren't even allowed to do that. They were being kept on board so that nobody is mixing outside of their bubble, basically. Now they are allowed to do it a little bit, but again, really being cautious on safety, and it's only going to get better as well. Not that it's difficult in any way right now, but it is only going to get better, because what's happening is the numbers at the moment are there's 800 people on board, and they are going to slowly increase that, but they're going to slowly increase that cautiously to make sure that they're not keeping you waiting. The reason they're only bringing 800 on board is just because they don't want to keep you waiting too long when you're getting tested before you board. They don't want to keep you waiting too long to go through all the protocols. Like, we get off the boat, we go onto the shore, there's no wait times, there's no lines, nothing. The keyless entry into your room is very easy. Everything's done on the app. So again, very easy. Restaurants are reserved on the app. Everything has been really carefully thought through. It's funny, I can't actually remember what was said the other day, but Keith asked me something and he said, I can't remember. He asked me a question and I said, yeah, because they've thought of everything. I mean, literally everything. It's just a silly thing, okay? Behind me, I don't know if you can see, but just behind me, this is the banister on the balcony of the room, okay? And it's sloped. Now, that may be a little silly, little small detail to you, but somebody had to think, a lot of people are going to do this on the balcony and watch, because that's what you're here for. You know, you want to see the port as you leave it. You want to see it. So they've angled it and made it wider so that it's more comfortable for you to lean on. So little tiny little details, the attention to that is amazing. You know, you can watch the chef in Eden restaurant with his little tweezers putting the little decoration on every single plate. You know, it's that thought of nothing is left out, nothing has been taken for granted, and everything has been thought through. And that's what I've really enjoyed about being on board here, because it's just everything has been thought of. You walk down the corridors and the art is all vintage travel art from everything back from the 40s. And it's just a really cool, even getting to one of the restaurants is an experience, because you walk by and you go, oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. We've actually decided now we go down a floor so that we can see if the art's different, you know. It's just everything about it is cool. And they've done such a good job to keep everybody safe that I don't think I would have any hesitation. But as I was saying earlier to Rose, do be careful if you are vaccinated with AstraZeneca or you have had a AstraZeneca dose plus a Pfizer dose or a Moderna dose. You will not be allowed to board from the United States. It's going to be a rule and it's not going to change, I don't think. So if you are going to have a trip planned, maybe you just have to get the Pfizer vaccine as well or something like that. But at the moment, anything leaving the United States, you cannot have that. So Canadians, you're fresh out of luck if you're like me and you've had the AstraZeneca. I might go home and have the Pfizer vaccine again, another dose of the Pfizer vaccine, so that I can travel on this again in the Caribbean, because I think this would be a very, very cool trip to do in the wintertime in the Caribbean. So yeah, or I just have to come back to Europe, which is okay too. So that's it from me, the updates. I think I've told you everything that I wanted to tell you. And we're having a really good time. Tomorrow it's a day at sea, and I'm actually really looking forward to it because I'm exhausted. We've been doing so many excursions, and I'm really looking forward to having a day where I do nothing. So I'm going to go and try out the spa. So I will let you know how that goes in COVID. You know, what do we have to do in the spa? So I will see you in a few days' time. When we leave the ship, I'm going to go back to Athens, fill you in a little bit more on there, and then we will be reporting on Cityline in September, all about everything to do with the reopening of the cruise industry. What's good, what's bad, and what's ugly. And at the moment, there ain't nothing ugly, I can tell you. It is very, very good. A few things to take care of, a few things to think about, but there's nothing ugly. And I think forewarned is forearmed. If you know that this is something that you have to do, you have to do. You know, you have to be patient when you're checking in, because you have to wait for your COVID test results. It's the antigen test, so it's not uncomfortable. It takes about half an hour to get the results back. You sit there and you wait. And then once you're clear to go, yeah, your number's called On you go, you're clear to board. Things like that, yeah, it's going to take longer, but we know this, and it just is the way that we're going to be traveling again for quite some time in the future, I think. And we're just going to have to live with it. And if we are still able to travel, I'm very grateful for that. Thank you very much. I'll take it, right? Yes? Don't you think? I think so. All right, so that's me, over and out. We haven't even left yet. I was hoping that Captain Demetrius would do his donut routine, but anyway, he loves to leave. He's actually the captain of the ship. Usually would wander around the ship and interact with people and everything, and he's not doing that on this cruise as much because he wants to make sure that he is keeping separate from everybody and just being really overly cautious. And this is not a bad thing, but he does come into the shows at night, talk to us in the shows at night. And he's actually really, really funny. So, true story. So anyway, we are enjoying the comedy, the shows, the nightlife, the bars, the people, everything about it. And I cannot tell you everything that's so good. And I'm so grateful to be back traveling again, and here in Greece, in Mykonos, on board a cruise ship. It's great. So see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.